adopted a concept that has been utilized time and time again to my dismay: the story basket. For those of you who may be unacquainted with this concept, let me break it down for you. After hearing a particularly disappointing or boring story, one simply raises both arms in a circular fashion, while the storyteller, after admitting to their anticlimactic tale, crumples up their feeble attempt and tosses the heap into the open arms of their audience. Because I personally pride myself on my storytelling capabilities, it is a sad day when I have to form the basket for one of my friends. But after all, no one really wants to be caught in the middle of a Casey story. However, the art of storytelling is a skill I hope everyone here today can one day attain. Because after my 18 years of the copious experience practicing the trade, I firmly believe that knowing how to properly execute a story can not only lead to some of your greatest successes in life, but also mirrors the approach for living a long and happy life. Therefore, my advice to my peers and everyone else here today is to learn how to tell a story. I would like to just quickly throw up 5 key guidelines as to how to achieve this feat. To begin, you have to set the stage for your story. Like in life, jumping into the middle of an action sequence with no background information can be dangerous. It is necessary to form a solid foundation to build your story off of before you bring its actual significance into fruition. 10 years ago, when my parents decided to throw their daughter into the giant experimental question mark of Westlake Academy, they unknowingly laid what I consider to be the best possible foundation for my education, and I thank them for that. My second tip is to keep your story simple. More and more human minds every day are being converted to the likeness of a squirrel, where attention spans last mere seconds. The old saying, long story short, is becoming the storyteller's greatest asset in modern times, as listeners no longer are patient enough to sit through a day-long performance of the Odyssey, much less anything longer than a 400-character tweet. Likewise in life, you'll find that people work better under clear, concise instructions, and that it's much more productive to delegate large jobs to multiple people rather than to try and complete everything on your own. Keep it simple. My next point is to let your story grow. It's okay if one retelling of the story is different from the next, because through telling your story repetitively, you learn what gets the best reaction from your audience, and what can be left out for the next time. You must apply these trials and errors to your own life as well, because when you keep making the same monotonous mistakes again and again, people will begin to notice and not trust you to make the right decision in the future. One of the most crucial steps is to prepare for the worst. Humor and appeal is not universal. We have people like Zach Ziegler to prove this point. Go into the story with the mindset that you are about to present the most illustrious story since the last story Mr. Roski told in class. However, always remember that not everyone will enjoy something as much as you. In life, not everyone will take what you have to offer, appreciate your opinion, or utilize your talents. But that does not mean do not try. Give everything you do 100%, so that the times you succeed outweigh the occasional failures. Finally, have a punchline. I attest to you that there's nothing more disappointing than an anticlimactic story. One of my favorite stories to tell is from the 7th grade when I brought a Chick-fil-A sandwich to lunch and mistakenly placed it in the microwave without removing its foil-lined bag. Naturally, my delicious chicken sandwich caught fire in a matter of seconds, so I ran to the microwave, pulled out the flaming bag, threw it outside, and began stomping out the fire, all the while the entire dining hall was staring at me and the fiasco I had created. While wallowing in my shame, the lunch lady walks up to me and I'm expecting a lecture on fire safety. However, the only thing she says to me with complete seriousness in her face is, "You know you can't bring fast food to school, right?" Punchlines are the goals of the story. In life, we should also strive to achieve the punchlines we set for ourselves along the way. Now that you've heard the tips, let me share with you a story about us, the class of 2013. 10 years ago, when we were all 3rd graders, or some of us anyways, each morning we would wake up, head to school, and be greeted by a "Buenos dias, los alumnos de la Academia de Westlake," and we would reply, "Buenos dias, señora In the fourth grade, we collectively organized one of the most rash April Fool's jokes on Miss Bowie by having Mr. Jenkins propose to her with a plastic ring. 5th grade brought out our competitive side, where throughout the year we fought tooth and nail to earn raffle tickets, which we exchanged in a heated auction at the end of the semester for that one prized yo-yo. In the 6th grade, we were the kings and queens of marbles, and no one was going to get my metal shooter. No one. In the 7th grade, we worked all year preparing the exceedingly tedious play, The Importance of Being Earnest. Never to actually be performed, but rather to have some of the lines permanently engraved into our minds, such as, well, I must say, Algernon, I believe it's high time that Mr. Bunbury decide whether he shall live or die. Just kidding, I'm not doing that. I'll spare you. 8th grade called upon us to redesign the school's recycling program in AOI 5 times. In the 9th grade, we were all treated to the sight of Connor being painted head to toe in green paint to portray Frankenstein for an English project. In the 10th grade, we experienced the wrath of Kai. But in the end, I believe that we all valued the growth in our writing that we attained from his education. 11th grade was the year that we all got nicknames, such as Hulk Logan, Nick Biabow, and Taco Stand, just to name a few. And this year was it. The year we all grew closer than ever before, because we realized that our time at Westlake was not infinite. But that's okay, because over these 10 years, we've learned the tools necessary to tell the best story there ever was, or ever will be. The story of our time at Westlake may be over, but the stories of our lives are just beginning. And that's not something any of us will chance to the story basket. Thank you.